What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. Child, these women are still in Anguilla, okay? It's the Real Housewives of New York, season 14, episode 10. And we still in Anguilla. Okay, so it's the next morning after Aaron didn't go to dinner. Aaron and Bren are getting caught up on what happened at dinner. And they're talking about Jessel. And they're talking about, and I forgot this part, but it is what it is. Let me tell you what I can't stand about people who always want to out victim you, right? It's like your blues ain't like mine. I can't stand it. So they don't want to accept Jessel's story of her life based on what I don't know. And y'all know Jessel been getting on my nerves all season long, but on this one, I'm with Jessel. Listen, yes, Jessel is long-winded, because when they say, well, tell us your story, she did start with her great-great-great-grandfather found a grape one day. I get that. She's long-winded. But at the end of the day, my story is my ancestor story. Who I am did start somewhere. So I thought it was interesting that her parents were from India, but she was born in Kenya, and they ended up growing up in London. And I think I'm just going to call a thing a thing. I think they hear her accent and they see her mannerisms, and they assume that she has to be wealthy or that she has to have a bigger story than what she's saying. And she's like, no, we grew up poor. Now, poor is a relative term, and that's what I'm saying. So, Sai, you can't compare everybody's story to yours. Your story is sad, right? Yes, you were homeless. Your mom was an alcoholic. You went through a lot of things. You had to figure it out at a very young age. I get it. And that is a tragic story. But what you can't do, or what is not fair to do, is to discredit someone else's story just because it's not as tragic as yours. And I think that they have made up their mind that Jessel comes from some sort of privilege. Jessel told them that she wanted to go to New York. Her father would not, that her father wouldn't support it. So she basically had to run away to New York and live with an uncle. They added the word rich. She was like, I never said he was rich. I'm kind of jumping to a whole nother when they were on the boat, because they're going to the boat, but I got to just get it all out. She was like, I never said he was rich. And so Saya's like, but, you lived with him, and I was homeless. She was like, okay, I get it, but I was thousands of miles from my family because they didn't support my dream. I did it on my own, and yes, I had an uncle who lived in New York who would let me live with him so I could save my money and get my own place, but that doesn't mean that there was no struggle. And she was like, I remember only having $20 in my bank account, and Sai was like, I had zero. Let me tell you something. If all I got is $20 and you got $0, I promise you it ain't that big of a difference. Baby, I'm one number 3 from McDonald's away from where you are, right? Like, what are you talking about? And then Saab said, my bank account was negative $400 and something. Like, I wish I had $20. And I'm just like, at the end of the day, we cannot out victim each other. And then you discredit Jessel's story because you have decided in your mind that it's not as tragic as you want it to be. So you're going to put her, Aaron, you grew up with money. You can't put everybody in that space. Anyway, it was getting on my nerves because they did it to Jessel and I didn't appreciate it. Again, I don't know Jessel's story, but I just feel like y'all are making a lot of assumptions, and you're going to tell this woman that her story ain't true. Like, how you going to tell her what she lived? Let me tell you something else that got on my nerves this episode. Bren flirting with Jenna. I don't like it. I don't know. It just made me icky. And it's not the girl on girl thing. I don't care about that. It's just that I really feel like Bren, I don't know. I just felt like it was disingenuous. And I know that Jenna's not stupid. Like, Jenna, she's not an idiot. Like, she knows what she's dealing with, right? But I don't know. And she did it the whole episode. Like, she was flirting hard the whole episode. So the ladies go out on the boat. And I basically done told you half of what happened on the boat about the whole conversation down to the boat. And Sai had a nerve to have an attitude with Jessel. I was like, whatever. But the ladies got in the water and they had a good time down to the boat. And Uber was defending Jessel. Like, Uber really had Jessel's back. And I can appreciate that, because what I like about Uber is that I don't feel like she takes sides, but I do feel like she looks at situations individually. Like, she defended Aaron with the Brent situation. She defended Jessel against Aaron and Sai. Like, I feel like she takes each situation individually, and she's like, listen, right is right and wrong is wrong. She defended Bryn when Aaron said that she was lying. Like, I feel like, so I can appreciate that with Uber, even though y'all know Uber was getting on my nerves the majority of this season, but I was feeling Uber on that one, right? So, child, they have the big argument on the boat, honey, and then that's kind of where that went, and they go back and they go to dinner, child. Let's see. Once again, Brandon's doing too much at dinner. She starts talking about fellatio and how to fake it till you make it and how to be good at it, and to the point where other people were looking at them. So what makes me, let's be clear. Do I think that other people were looking because maybe they heard everything Brent said? No, I think the cameras are part of it, you know. I know if I'm sitting at dinner and I see the Real Housewives of any franchise filming, baby, I'm gonna be like this the whole time. So, I don't think it was, but just again, Bryn, I think just trying too hard to be the over-sexual, overstimulated, like, and then when she gets called on it, then it's a problem. So they actually had a great dinner. They talked about their most embarrassing moments, and it was fun. Jessel told a great story about ending up topless at the pool down in Mexico or somewhere they were, child. Jenna told a story about getting embarrassed in front of a very elite crowd. Somebody stepped on her coat. She kept walking. She ended up falling flat on her face. Uber told a story about coming out the bathroom too fast at a club, and the toilet paper was stuck to her. She had a trail of toilet paper going all the way back to the bathroom. Sai told a story about sharding on herself at a track meet. So I feel like everybody told a really funny, quirky story. Girl, Aaron says, oh my gosh, I was so embarrassed one time we were on a plane and my kids wouldn't stop. My son wouldn't stop crying. It was crickets, because everybody at that table was like, girl, what? Jessel was like, girl, all of us have had that. We are mothers. All of us have had that experience of being embarrassed when our kids won't, like, are acting out in public. Like, girl, that is not, like, I told y'all I was topless in a grotto down at a club in Mexico. Like, the stories ain't the same. So Aaron has been, so Uber had pushed Aaron in the pool on the first day. And Aaron has been determined that she's going to get Uber back, right? So all day long, she's been trying to get Uber back and get her in the pool. So as they ride back to the house, Uber knows it's coming. They decide they're going to go get in the hot tub, and Uber knows that the whole pool situation is coming. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. She said that it was the anticipation. She was like, I wasn't scared about getting in the pool. It was just the anticipation of getting in the pool. I'm going to be honest. I would just pretend. I pretend like I was walking past the pool. I was unsuspecting. Make sure I didn't have my cell phone or nothing on me. And be like, oh, she got me, you know. Because at that point, it's just the anticipation. So as they're getting out of their van, Uber leaves her cell phone. So Aaron was like, oh, don't tell her I have it. You know, I'm a pranker. No problem. She doesn't get Uber in the pool. Sai actually ends up pushing Uber in the pool, right? So Aaron was like, that actually doesn't count because it wasn't me. But that's okay. I have her cell phone and I'll prank her with her cell phone. So the ladies end up having a good time, whatever. So we find out the next day, Uber is pissed because she realized she didn't have her cell phone. She was looking for her cell phone and she couldn't find it. She called her phone, whatever. She couldn't find her phone. So then she ended up putting something in a group chat. Aaron sends these weird emojis. And finally, Sai lets Jessel know, girl, go to Aaron's room. Child, Aaron got that phone. Here's my issue with this. I understand Uber being upset, but Uber, you putting 20 on 10. Girl, it's not that serious. Like, y'all are on a girl's trip. It was a prank. Yes, I get it. You were worried, you were nervous, you were upset, but Erin said she had that phone an hour. Now, it might have been a little bit longer than an hour because I had that whole situation in the hot tub and the pool. So, I mean, I think it was longer than an hour that you had that girl phone. But at the end of the day, I can understand Uber being mad in the moment. I do. I get it. But, girl, you got your phone back. It's all good. Like, you pushed Erin in the pool. What if Erin didn't want to get in the pool? What if Erin had her phone tucked in her pocket? You pulled a prank on her that she could have just as easily been pissed off about. And again, I understand initially being irritated, but girl, you went to sleep mad and woke up mad. Like, you was still mad the next day. Like, you weren't even speaking. And then you got mad at Sai when you found out that Sai knew that Erin had the phone and didn't tell you. Sai was like, girl, I told you when I saw you looking for the phone. So now Erin is irritated because she was like, okay, you're mad and you are literally not speaking to me. Like, Uber is going out of her way to let Erin know that she's not speaking to her, right? And Erin is like, girl, you are putting 20 on 10. Like, you are doing way too much. Now, Jessel is in the Uber amen corner. Like, no, I mean, your family could have been worried about you. Girl, it was a couple of hours. It wasn't that serious. Because you didn't even think about your phone. You went to your room, you changed into your bathing suit, you got pushed in the pool. Like, you didn't even think about your phone. Like, it wasn't even an issue. So they're getting ready to leave for their outing, for their excursion. And Uber and Erin end up getting into it because Uber said Erin's name. And now Erin is like mad. She's like, don't say my name if I'm not in the room. Don't talk about me when I'm not here. Uber was like, girl, like, really? Are you that girl? Now, Uber was wrong because Uber got in Erin's face. And then Uber snatched them glasses off of Erin's face. Now, Uber, let's be clear. You know, another person in another place, it would have been another story. You physically snatched them glasses off that girl's face. And she would have been perfectly within her right to smack the shit out of you. Now, because she didn't, and then you kept following her, like she kept trying to walk away from you, and you kept getting in her face. Now, Uber did post something down to her Instagram, and she was like, it was more to it than that, and blah, 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 and it'll all come out at the reunion. But, girl, I don't know what they edited out of that. You was putting 20 on 10, and you did too much. Anyway, that's the episode. Y'all let me know what y'all think. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.